Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene. You are watching LUBED for November the 12th, 2023, Season 3, Episode 13. And wow, what a whirlwind of a morning we are having. This episode has been a tough one to put together because I've already had to pivot 3 times on this episode. As after the loss with San Jose, I was prepared to wear a bag over my head. I'm not even joking. Then I was going to be so proud to wear my Zach Hyman jersey today after that awesome effort in Seattle. They actually started looking like a team. And then we get the disheartening news that Jay Woodcroft got fired this morning. So both Jay Woodcroft and Dave Manson have been relieved of their duties. Chris Knobloch from the AHL in Hartford and Paul Coffey are going to be taking over. Yep, Paul Coffey. We're going back to the old blues, baby boy blues club again of the early 2000s. And yeah, we just don't seem to learn. We don't seem to learn. We just fired the most winningest coach, I believe, in Edmonton Oilers history, I think it is, at something like a .643 win percentage, just because of a lousy start to the season, which was not on him at all. 100% on the players for not doing their thing and doing what they get paid very well to do. And that's across the board from Captain McDavid all the way down to Derek Ryan. Like, I mean, pathetic to put your coach into this situation where he loses his job. He's going to do well. I don't know if he's going to take a timeout and just take the remainder of his contract and rest for that time, but he's going to find a job. I can see San Jose probably already on the phone with him trying to get him in. Wow. Big news. And unfortunately, Jay Woodcroft terminated today. I'm honestly not happy. I was so happy with the result yesterday. I even chimed into the oil stream with Tom Gazzola last night. And I made a comment along the lines like, Tommy, thank the Lord. Zach Hyman defibrillated this team, and the Oilers have a pulse again. Zach Hyman played excellent. The whole team actually played excellent. And then we wake up to this result that Jay Woodcroft and, yeah, fired. And Dave Manson, sorry. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed as an Oiler fan. But I'll never give up on this team. That's one thing I will never. I'll give up on seasons, which I have on this one already. I don't think they're going to come out of this, but you never know. I'll give up on players. I'll give up on coaches when necessary, but this one was not me giving up on Jay Woodcroft. I was disappointed that he changed up the defensive structure a little bit, but after watching a couple episodes of the oil stream, it was such a minor, minute change that this isn't the reason why the Oilers are losing. The reason why the Oilers are losing is no one wants to be defensively accountable on that team. And last night we saw that team being defensively accountable. They held Seattle to a very low shot count. Stuart Skinner made his tough stops when he had to, and especially early on in that game. And we saw the Edmonton Oilers of last year for the first time this year. I mean, they played all right against Calgary and Nashville, but this is the team that we saw play last year. This is the playoff team that was last year. We saw that last night, and unfortunately, it was still not enough to save Jay Woodcroft his job, and he's out of a job. By the way, at the top of the hour, in about actually 55 minutes, so probably, yeah, I'm definitely not going to go over an hour on this, but there is going to be a press conference coming out of Edmonton involving all the parties that are involved. Chris Knobloch, Paul Coffey, and company. Ken Holland's going to be there. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if there's any more that unfolds. We're going to see maybe live on this press conference, we're going to see Ken Holland announce his resignation. I don't know. Like, there's so many surprises going on with this organization now. It's hard to keep up. I had to pivot and adjust all my graphics for today. And I was doing that yesterday. Like, all week I've been trying to catch up and try to make an episode. And I think I did an okay job. I apologize if you'll see something in here that doesn't quite add up, but let's get on with it. Let's dive into our first thing here. So the question is, what next? With Woodcroft fired, this is like a broken record. Coaches and GMs always getting replaced. Right? Like, when does this stop? When does this stop and we realize this isn't the way to go about business? When are they going to start realizing this? This screen here alone I had initially this up, but I didn't realize until earlier today as I was doing it that I got a text from my friend saying that Jay got fired, and then I'm reading all the thing, and then Elliot Freeman's announcing, and then it's on Sportsnet and it's on the Score and all that. I'm like, oh, this is legit, man. He got fired. And it sucks. It sucks because he's a hell of a good coach. The blood is on the players' hands. It's a shame. It's a shame. Like I said, I was going to come on this episode wearing my Hyman jersey. 2 days ago, I was going to wear a paper bag over my face out of shame. But it is what it is. The new era begins. Apparently, Bob Stauffer highly touts the new coach, so we'll see if this if this works. I don't know. And I don't think I don't think Jay Woodcroft was broken. I think the team, there's got to be some accountability on the team. I tell you what, if I was a general manager, I don't think I would build my team around superstars, to be honest with you. I'd build my team on blue-collar work ethic. Teams that really want to work. Why are some of these teams that are doing well this year that weren't expected to do well playing very well? Because they have that blue-collar work ethic. They're there, they're grinding, they're hitting, they're finishing their plays. Superstars, they just want... And I'm not saying necessarily McDavid and Drysdale. I'm not going to rule them out because they do a lot defensively and they've done a lot for our team. I'm not going to just throw them under the bus right away. They have held us up through a lot of tough times. I'm not going to say that, but I am going to say there's got to be more accountability out of everybody on that team, not just McDavid and Drysdale, Derek Ryan, Fogle, everyone. But what we witnessed last night was that exact thing, accountability. We saw it last night. Yeah, we saw it last night. Oops, just 1 second, guys. Got to get back there. There we go. Pressed the wrong button. So, there you go. Jeff Jackson is in, or Jeff Jackson, the new CEO of the Oilers, or the recent CEO as of this summer, is going to be holding a press conference in an hour. And that's when they're going to explain the whole Woodcroft thing. Holland's expected to be there. Coffey's expected to be there. But yeah, this is... I don't know. It feels like a rinse and repeat for the last 20 years of this club. You know, when are they going to stop doing it? When are they going to, you know, like even Albert Einstein, one of the wisest men to walk the planet Earth, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Boy, that sounds like the Oilers, eh? That really sounds like the Oilers. And you know what? I want to say something about Mark Spector here. There's ways you can report in the media without being a callous jerk. And some of the stuff that I've seen and how he handled Woodcroft really started snubbing him in the last few interviews. He basically was giving one-word answers and all that because he takes it a little too far. Now, if you remember a few years ago in Philadelphia, Jakub Voracek, he in one of the media guys that he didn't really care for, called him out as a weasel with a few explicitives. I think this guy here, Mark Spector, I have no respect for him. He honestly has a poor approach at trying to collect the information to write his blogs and stories and whatnot. I wouldn't feel bad if Sportsnet ever fired him and said, look, you're not part of our team anymore. Because I'm actually disgusted with how he, for some of the things, since I've done this channel, for some of his approaches and tactfulness, yeah. Like I say, guys, I'm a little bit lost for words today. Shocking news coming out of Edmonton. And once again, I'm going to say it again. Jay Woodcroft, Dave Manson relieved of their duties as they will be bringing in a brand new coach by the name of, I forgot his name here. Just let me pull up that graphic here. As they bring in Chris Knobloch from the AHL in Hartford, from AHL Hartford. Apparently, again, Bob Stauffer has touted him for many years as a very good guy, and he deserves a chance. So we'll see what the new era of the coaching regime brings, and we will go forward. All right. Okay, so let's get into the games that have happened since Wednesday. And it started off with just a pitiful effort in San Jose and a game that I thought was a must-win game and a game that I could see everything leading up to the way it unfolded this morning. I was just hoping that the game against Seattle would have maybe bought a couple days to see if he can get this team going again. But yeah, they went into San Jose, the worst team in the league, and pooped the bed. And like literally, I was going to wear a paper bag on my face for this episode. And I'm not doing that just to try to get subscriber counts or view counts or go viral or whatnot. I love doing this channel because I just enjoy doing this channel. If I get subscribers, I get subscribers. I'm hoping to get more subscribers because it's my driving force to make the channel that much more better. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to do rumor videos and all that kind of stuff to try to get subscribers. To me, it's not my thing. But anyway, in the first period, San Jose scored first. At 18:35, this is Fabian Zetterlund. Assist from Thomas Hertl and William Eklund. In the second period, Darnell Nurse would tie it at 1:56 with Leon Draisaitl and Warren Foegele. But we're still at this point saying, holy cow, what's going on? Like, this should not be a tied game. Then Thomas Hertl takes the lead at 9:05. And I think that's when my jaw just dropped. I go, we're going to lose this game. The Edmonton Oilers are going to lose the most important game of the year and be out of the playoffs. And I still think that, I don't know if they're going to, barring a miracle, the Oilers are not going to make the playoffs this year. Okay? Because they still got all the tough teams ahead of them. Okay? They start off the season losing to the weaker teams, with exception of Vancouver. Vancouver's actually proven to be a good team. Or they're just way out in space and coming back to earth as they lost to Toronto last night. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, then the nail in the coffin. Filip Zadina at 1:53 of the third period makes it 3-1. And at this point, I'm livid. And I'm telling you right now, guys, this is one reason why I don't come on live anymore right after games and that. Because first of all, I like to put together a good presentation with graphics and that takes time. But most importantly, I get way too emotional into the game, and I would probably be F-bombing or something going on. So I don't want to do that. But I was pissed. At this point in time in the game, I was pissed. Ryan Nugent Hopkins would save a little bit of face, getting them within one, but that would be it. And that was from Evan Bouchard and Matthias Ekholm. A very shameful effort. A lot of talk in Edmonton going on. Very heated discussions on the oil stream. Jason Greger, all those guys. My YouTube counterparts, DOLYNNY TV and the Oilers Fanatic, they were definitely venting their frustration. And I can't blame them. Not at all. But last night we saw the first truly good effort of the season from the Edmonton Oilers. Yes, they won the Heritage Classic against Calgary. Yes, they beat Nashville, something 6-1, I believe it was. But this was the best effort that they put on the ice this season. And it took Zach Hyman. I love Zach, man. This guy could very well be, we got to go back to this day. If the Oilers make the playoffs, we got to go back to November the 11th, 2023, when it comes April, and remember Zach Hyman on this day, as he would get the natural hat trick starting at 9:56 from Evander Kane, 14:09 from Evan Bouchard and Ryan Nugent Hopkins, and then 18:40 unassisted. And then Dylan Holloway crashing the net, being in the right place, we started to see some good light out of him, and Ryan McLeod and Cody Ceci getting the assists. 4-0 going into the second period. I'm like, finally we're seeing this team play. Finally things are working. And they were. Second period, no goals. And in the third period, Seattle Kraken, Jaden Swartz would get one on the power play from Ellie Tullivan and Vince Dunn at 2:25. But that's all she wrote. A very well-played effort by the Oilers. Just an excellent game. I can't say enough. That was the best effort, and I really did believe it. Even watching the Oil Stream and other YouTubers on the Oilers, I thought this would have saved Jay Woodcroft his job for at least a couple of days. We knew this would come, and it sucks that he has to pay the price for it. But, and especially being the Oilers' most winningest coach, I think they were saying 643 win percentage since he's been on there. And another ironic thing is, he took over 2 years ago for Tippett. His first game was against the Islanders. Now the new coach is going to take over. First game was against the Islanders. Isn't that kind of ironic? So yeah, it's sucky. It's horrible. But it is what it is, and it was wrong. Okay, let's move on to the numbers, I believe it is. Yes, the numbers. So on this particular episode of the numbers, I'm crunching it off of the last 10 years. In light of Jay Woodcroft's firing, I want to break down the last 10 years and stuff that should enlighten us to see this organization do something, and they haven't done nothing with it. Okay, so since 2010, 9 head coaches have been hired and fired. Make that 10. I did not adjust that graphic. 10 coaches have been hired and fired since 2010. This is going back to like yeah, there's a list of or there's an image of all the coaches there, but it's going back all the way to 2010. Since 2010, we've had 4 number 1 draft picks, 1 third, 1 fourth, and 1 seventh. The third turned out to be Leon Draisaitl, which is a huge, massive piece. The fourth, I believe, was, I can't quite remember. I think the 7th was Darnell Nurse. And then, of course, Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Nail Yakupov, and Connor McDavid were our first-round picks. Colorado had, I believe, 1 first-round pick. I don't think Cale Makar was a first-round pick. He turned out really good, but Colorado had only 1. And that was Nathan McKinnon in that time span. They already got a Stanley Cup to show for it. Vegas, I think, had maybe 1 because they were an expansion team. They got a Stanley Cup to show for it. This is, like, brutal. Like, seriously brutal. Since 2010, this is what we're witnessing. And since 2010, 5 playoff appearances and only 4 rounds won. And now, I got 5 playoff appearances, but technically it's only 4. And I'll explain why. Back in the bubble era, they cut the season short and they had a qualifying round and they lost to Chicago. But I'm still listing that as a playoff. There was a qualifying round, they lost to Chicago. But I'm still going to lay that down as a playoff appearance, even though it technically wasn't. So there you have it. Like, what do you do? How do you change this? How do you really fix this team? You know? We brought in the superstars. We got the 2 elite athletes in the world on our team. And we're in this situation firing coaches again. Brutal. Brutal. Like I said, I'll never give up on this team. I will give up on players. I will give up on coaches when it's due. I will give up on seasons where I'm pretty much right now, but I'm still going to continue with the channel. I'm not going to give up on the channel. I enjoy doing it. But honestly, like, even if they didn't fire Woodcroft, I don't think they were going to make the playoffs. I mean, they got too much ground to make up. So, let's see. Okay. So what is up next? It is the New York Islanders. And they haven't been playing very well, so you hope that the Oilers can get another win here, as they are 7th place in the Metro Division. They're struggling as well. We'll see our new coach behind the bench, and Paul Coffey, I'm assuming the defensive coach, unless something else happens. And like I said, again, guys, in about half an hour, the Edmonton Oilers are running their press conference regarding all the events that took place today in about 35 minutes. And you can watch that live on Oilers TV. If you have the app on the Oil Drop, it'll be on there. But yeah, Jeff Jackson, Ken Holland, the new coach, Paul Coffey, all going to be there, and they're going to discuss all the events of today. The Islanders versus the Oilers. So the Islanders right now are 7th in the Metro with a record of 5-5-3. Meanwhile, the Oilers 3-9-1, both 7th place in their respective divisions. When it comes to the New York Islanders, they are 30th in the league for goals at 2.46. So they're right at the bottom. The Oilers are 26. Can you imagine that? 26 in the league with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, all of which were 100-point point earners last year. Excuse me. When it comes to shots on goal, New York Islanders are 15th in the league at 31.2. Meanwhile, the Oilers are 3rd in the league at 34.2. Power play percentage, the Oilers are 21st in the league at 17.1. And and the Islanders are ninth. Excuse me. Should have got some water. Okay, face-off percentage. The Islanders are 52.8 for 8th in the league. The Oilers are 17th in the league with 50.1%. Shooting percentage. The New York Islanders are 7.9% at 29th in the league. Meanwhile, the Islanders are tied. They're tied for 29th. Same thing, 7.9. So they're right across even on that one. Defensive stats, the Islanders are 13th in the league for goals allowed at 3.08. The Oilers are 30th in the league at 3.92. Shots on goal, the Islanders are 30th in the league for allowing 34.6 shots. Meanwhile, the Oilers are 7th in the league, allowing 28.8 shots. Penalty minutes, the Islanders are 11th in the league at 9.2 minutes per game. Meanwhile, the Edmonton Oilers are 25th in the league at 11.2. When it comes to penalty kill percentage, the Islanders are 20th in the league at 76.7. Meanwhile, the Oilers are 30th in the league at 70. So obviously a lot of work to go in. The Oilers need to get a massive streak together to save some face in this season. Can they make the playoffs? There's always a chance that they can make the playoffs. But I'm kind of saying, I don't think they will right now. There's just too much ground that they have to make up, and they got too many good teams up and coming around the corner. Again, I'm not giving up on my Oilers. I'm just giving up on the season. And here we are with the standings. As you got the Golden Knights, and unfortunately, I got the points out of the frame, so I'll tell you where the points are. But Golden Knights have 25 points. The Vancouver Canucks have 21 points. The Los Angeles Kings, 19 points. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks at 14 points. Seattle at 13. Calgary at 10. Edmonton at 7. And the San Jose Sharks in 5th place, or in the last place, with 5 points. Only 2 wins on the season, and one of those which came against the Edmonton Oilers. So, yeah, it's tough going for the Oilers now, but we'll see what happens if they can somehow save face. They can play like they played last night. We could see maybe that miracle, that Hail Mary happen, and them actually making this year's playoffs. All right, let's go to final thoughts here. And I'll answer some of your guys' questions. Let me just see here. Okay. And Sonny, McDavid's agent is the CEO. His junior line mates was signed. Now he is hiring his junior head coach. Everything is to do to make him happy. Guy's essentially the owner of the team. You know what? I can't really dispute that, Sonny. The thing is we should have learned from 2003 when we had Mac T and Kevin Lowe and all those guys. I mean, Kevin Lowe actually wasn't that bad of a general manager when I think back to it. He was able to bring Chris Pronger in. He was able to bring Michael Pekka in. And we did have that run of 2006. So Kevin Lowe overall wasn't that bad. But at the same time, you know, it's the old oil club, you know, keep bringing in those guys. You got another comment here from Sonny. And Jeff Jackson, the CEO. Now Nabla is former junior coach. Yeah, it's a bit off-putting. Yeah. I agree. And even, you know, we look at, okay, McDavid even I don't know if he had a part in getting Connor Brown on the team, but there's another former teammate too that you got to look at. Let's go to Renegade Man 83. Woody's not the problem. He will coach in the NHL again. The team will regret it. Yeah, I think I think me as a fan, I'm already regretting this. He had a 641 win percentage, one of the best win percentage by any Edmonton Oilers coach. There's two coaches that in recent years that I'm so upset we let go. Woody today and Todd McClellan a few years ago. Those guys were good coaches. Okay? They were good coaches. How they lost their jobs, I don't know. It might be boiling down to, yep, your superstar calls the shots. I don't know what's going on in that dressing room, but there's definitely a question with the leadership core of the players. I have to say there's definitely something not right. Let's go to another comment here. Renegade Man, Holland and Mason should be fired next. Well, Mason did get fired today, so Justin Shorts is wishful thinking. Mason is gone today. It sounds like Paul Coffey's taking over for that, unless, like I'm very intrigued to see this press conference that's happening again, guys. There's a press conference of the Edmonton Oilers in about half an hour. Are we going to get more surprises? Is Ken Holland going to maybe announce his resignation? I don't know. And that's the only way I see Paul Coffey being in a different role. But right now, it sounds like Paul Coffey is going to be the defense coach for the Oilers. And that's the way it's going to go. Unless there's something else going down the tubes here. All right, one more question, guys, and then we're going to shut her down because I definitely want to tune into this. That's the answer for a lot of Oilers fans. Fire everybody if the team goes south. Trade everybody, even though what their value and nobody wants. Now, that's just it. When your team is crappy, who wants to pick up your crappy players? Right? Like, do you think we have any chance of getting Darnell Nurse off the books? Nope. Do you think we have any chance of getting Jack Campbell off the books? Nope. That's why I said in the last episode, you'd have to make the nuclear option where you package a toxic contract with a big player and hope to get also some good return on that. That's the only way that's going to happen. Other than that, we're stuck with those contracts. You know, gone are the days where players are paid for production. They're now paid for prediction, what they predict that guy to do. Sometimes you get a hit, and sometimes you get a miss. Chiarelli nailed it right on the head, and I remember when this happened, I was actually pissed at Chiarelli signing Leon Draisaitl to $8 million. Boy, was I wrong about that one. He's definitely well worth and more his $8 million. He's worth Austin Matthews money. He's better than Austin Matthews, but not this year. Not this year. So anyway, guys, yeah, again, there is a press conference going to be going on in about 25 minutes. The Oilers are going to make media availability for it. And we'll see what happens here. We'll see if this team can... I don't know, man. A lot of stuff has happened. Like, this was a hard episode to put together because I was constantly having to change all the graphics and that. And then this morning I was all getting all set up and ready. And then all of a sudden I get the word, oh, Woodcroft fired, Manson fired. And then the coach's name and all that. But again, press conference in literally 25 minutes. I'm curious to hear what has to be said. I have a feeling that the media is going to have some very tough questions for this new regime that's taking over. Jeff Jackson's going to have a lot to answer. He's going to have to answer some really tough ones because Woody was well liked, and even last night in the San Jose game, we saw the one poster there right behind the bench there, Woody's Warriors. Like, the fans love Woody. We all love Woody. He was a good coach. And yes, I agree with the comment there. It won't be long before he finds a job. He may want to just take, because I guess what they were saying on the oil stream today, if he goes and gets another job, then he basically forfeits his wage here. So it's all up to him what he wants to do. He could spend a lot of time with his family, still collect that wage, or he could just get back on the horse again and go for another team. There's going to be teams looking for him, and that will definitely hire him. He's not going to be out of work long. Anyway, guys, I am done for today. Again, a press conference in 25 minutes coming from the Edmonton Oilers organization regarding today's day's events. I will be back Wednesday. And as always, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated. We will talk soon.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show